Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to take all that complex information, those news reports, the analysis, and really distill it down for you.
Yeah, get to the core insights you need to, really be ahead of the curve.
And today, we're diving into some pretty high-stakes diplomatic chess. Every move, every potential meeting location, every statement, it all carries huge weight.
It really does. It's like peeling an onion layer after layer, revealing more about the efforts around the conflict in Ukraine. It's definitely more complex than just the headlines.
So our mission today is to unpack this recent flurry of activity. We're focusing particularly on this potential peace summit idea.
Yeah.
Putin and Zelensky face-to-face.
Right. And we're drawing heavily from a live Guardian report, which is pulling together updates from, well, everywhere. The White House, European capitals, Moscow.
And understanding this, for you listening, it's not just about staying informed on current events. It's about seeing the strategy, the nuances often missed that really shape global politics right now.
Exactly. It gives you that deeper perspective on a conflict with massive ripple effects.
Okay, so let's get into it. The big idea, grabbing attention. This potential meeting.
Yeah.
Putin and Zelensky. And the White House apparently is looking at Budapest as a possible location.
Yeah. Budapest. And what's interesting there, beyond the obvious potential discomfort for Zelensky, is the sourcing. Politico reported it, citing a Trump admin official and someone close to the administration.
Specific sources?
Right. It suggests it's not just, idle chatter, but why Budapest? Is it a test of Zelensky's flexibility? A nod to Orban? It definitely adds a layer of strategic complexity right off the bat.
Yeah, because Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, he's got this long-standing relationship with Putin. Yeah. Suggesting Budapest. That must create immediate political hurdles for Zelensky, right?
Oh, absolutely. Meeting there could look like a concession before talks even start. And it highlights the broader challenges, too. I mean, you've got Macron suggesting Geneva.
A more neutral ground.
Exactly. And then the Swiss foreign minister even promising immunity for Putin. That's quite something, given the ICC indictment.
It shows how far some are willing to go just to get them in the same room, even acknowledging the huge legal issue hanging over Putin.
Precisely. But speaking of Putin, the Kremlin itself is being pretty cautious. They haven't actually confirmed he'll meet face-to-face.
Right. Their official line is just that they're considering the possibility of high-level talks.
And Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister, said preparations take time, which, some people are reading as Moscow maybe stalling a bit.
Dragging their feet, perhaps?
Could be. It certainly keeps the uncertainty high and maybe keeps Russia in control of the pacing.
And the format's changed, too, hasn't it? There was talk of a trilateral meeting Trump, Zelensky, Putin.
Yeah, that seems to have shifted. That senior administration official told Politico that Putin allegedly told Trump something like, "You don't have to come. I want to see him one-on-one."
Wow, okay. So Putin wants it bilateral.
Seems so. And apparently Trump's team assigned Steve Witkoff to get it figured out. So it's getting personal, these discussions.
That shift, Putin wanting one-on-one.
Yeah.
What does that tell us about the dynamics? And where does that leave Trump?
Well, it could suggest Putin wants to, control the narrative directly with Zelensky, maybe cut out other big players. Trump, for his part, seems to be stepping more into a facilitator role here.
Okay.
He's saying things like, it takes two to tango, hoping Putin moves on Ukraine, but also adding that Zelensky has to show some flexibility.
So managing expectations on both sides.
Kind of setting the stage without committing himself to a specific outcome, yeah.
All right. Let's switch gears slightly to something really crucial. U.S. security guarantees for Ukraine. We know one thing for sure, no U.S. boots on the ground.
Definitely not. Trump's made that crystal clear, and Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, confirmed it, ruled out.
So if not boots on the ground, what is the U.S. offering?
It's nuanced. They're talking about helping with coordination, providing other means of security guarantees alongside European allies. Trump's apparently told his national security team to work on this with Europe, Ukraine, and Russia.
Other means.
Okay. But here's a really specific detail that emerged. The possibility of U.S. air support.
Air support, that's significant.
Very. Trump was quoted saying, we're willing to help them with things, especially probably if you could talk about by air, because nobody has the kind of stuff we have.
So leveraging unique UN capabilities without direct ground combat.
Exactly. It's a tangible offer, a specific type of leverage. It's not just vague promises.
And Leavitt also mentioned discussions about Article 5 style guarantees are sensitive and ongoing. Article 5. That's the NATO Mutual Defense Clause.
Right. An attack on one is an attack on all. So saying discussions are sensitive and ongoing suggests they're trying to craft something really robust for Ukraine, but crucially, without full NATO membership.
That sounds incredibly complicated to negotiate. What are the sensitivities, do you think?
Oh, hugely complex. Defining the exact commitment, what triggers it, how it differs from NATO. These are deep, probably quite difficult discussions. It's far from settled.
And I saw Trump also said Europe would need to front-load Ukraine's security. What does front-load mean here?
It basically implies Europe needs to step up big time right at the start, bear the main financial and logistical weight immediately.
So a significant demand for upfront European commitment.
Yes, shifting that initial burden quite heavily onto them, a clear signal about expectations.
Okay, so beyond the summit talk and U.S. guarantees, what else is happening in this wider diplomatic picture? There was mention of a coalition of the willing.
Yeah, they had a virtual debrief after talks at the White House. So allied coordination is definitely ongoing, and Zelensky himself confirmed allies are already working on the concrete content of guarantees.
So things are moving on the practical side.
Seems so. And it's not just talk. There's military planning happening, too.
Right.
The UK said military planners are meeting in the U.S. specifically on these guarantees, and NATO military chiefs are holding video talks with Italian Admiral Giuseppe Cavo Dragone and U.S. General Alexis Grinkowicz giving updates.
So the operational gears are turning behind the scenes.
Definitely. Meanwhile, the EU is keeping the pressure on Russia.
New sanctions coming.
That's the plan. Kaja Kallas, the EU foreign policy chief, said a new package is coming next month. And she was pretty blunt about it.
What did she say?
She said, Vladimir Putin cannot be trusted to honor any promise or commitment. Therefore, security guarantees must be strong and credible enough to deter Russia from regrouping and reattacking.
Wow, okay. So deep skepticism from the EU, based on experience.
Very much so. But then you also have different voices within Europe, like the Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico.
Yes, his comments were quite different.
Yeah, pretty controversial. He said Ukraine needs to be open to discussing territorial changes and shouldn't join NATO. He was quite emphatic that Ukraine can't become a NATO member, in his view.
So internal divisions within Europe are clear too. Not everyone's on the same page.
Exactly. It highlights the complex political landscape even among allies.
And Turkey, often a mediator in this region.
Yes, President Erdogan and NATO's Mark Rutte apparently discussed feasible and sustainable security guarantees. They agreed on close coordination, with Turkey playing its part in the peace process, reinforcing that traditional role.
Okay, so we've covered the high-level strategy, the guarantees, the wider alliances. But then there was this surprisingly personal moment reported.
The gift exchange between Zelensky and Trump. Yeah, that was unexpected.
Tell us about that. It adds a very human layer.
It really does. So Zelensky apparently gave Trump a golf club. Not just any golf club, though. It belonged to Konstantin Kartavtsev, a Ukrainian soldier who lost his leg saving comrades.
Wow.
Zelensky even showed Trump a video of Kartavtsev playing golf. And Trump, being a huge golf fan, reportedly praised his swing, called him an amazing person, called Ukraine a great country.
And Trump gave a gift back.
Symbolic keys to the White House, which, is quite a gesture.
And this whole exchange, it's described as a real turnaround from that televised argument they apparently had with J.D. Vance back in February.
A big shift, yeah. Zelensky is now quoted praising Trump's peace efforts. It shows how personal interactions, even symbolic ones, can potentially shift the mood in these high-stakes situations.
Fascinating. It reminds you there are people behind the politics.
Absolutely. And there was even another detail. Zelensky brought a letter from Melania Trump from his wife, Elena.
Really?
Yeah, thanking her for apparently urging Putin sometime earlier to save children's lives. It's a very intimate detail you rarely hear about in this kind of diplomacy.
Connecting on a completely different level there.
Adds another dimension to understanding the whole picture.
So wrapping this up, we've dug into quite a lot today. The potential summit twists, the U.S. security pledges, especially that air support idea, like the debates within Europe, and even these very personal moments.
It's clear the path towards any kind of peace is incredibly complex. Lots of moving parts, different agendas, logistical hurdles.
Absolutely. It's a situation that's constantly evolving, with everyone weighing their options very carefully.
Constantly reassessing.
So thinking about all of this, the high-stakes diplomacy, the different perspectives, the challenges, we want to leave you with a question to consider. What do you think is the single most critical factor the one thing that could truly make or break a genuine path to peace in Ukraine right now. Something to chew on.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.